Well, hello, everyone. My name is Mac Atkinson, and along with my sister Janet and our co-host, Dr. Karen Spencer-Dees, we'd like to welcome you to the February 2014 Sunrider Fusion Network WebEx event. We're going to be talking this evening about the mighty minerals from Sunrider, so we have a great thing for you guys to be listening to this evening. I do want to apologize that Dr. Karen Spencer-Dees was not able to join us on the call this month. She is snowbound in Massachusetts, has no electricity or any way to access the event this evening, so she did want me to pass along her apologies to everyone, and she'll be back with us next month. But to support our topic this evening, we have three incredible speakers that have been around Sunrider for a long time. Ms. Sharon Samuelson. Sharon, are you with us this evening?
Yes.
Hi, welcome. Judy Densler. Judy, are you with us?
Yes. How are you doing?
Excellent. And last but not least, certainly Roberta McMaster. Roberta, are you on?
Yes, I am, Matt.
Terrific. Welcome to you all. Hey, before we get started this evening, I just want to remind everybody that none of the information provided in the presentation is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. We get the disclaimer out of the way. Prior to getting into our topic this evening, I just want to remind everybody that last month we had another great call. It was our first WebEx event. It was Back to Basics, the NDC, the Nourish, Balance, and Cleanse products that Sunrider provides. If any of you didn't have a chance to view that presentation and you would like to go back and kind of catch up on that, it is available through the Fusion Network website. You can see the URL on the screen, but it is www.thefusionnetwork.net, link to our conference call page, and you can listen to last month's event. And obviously this recording that we're doing here this evening will also be up on the Fusion Network website within the next 24 hours. So again, our topic this evening, the Sunrider Mighty Minerals. We're going to be talking about a number of things. First of all, we're going to talk a little bit about why minerals are important in our diet, what do they do for our bodies, where do we find them naturally in nature, and then, of course, which Sunrider products contain the minerals that we crave. I'd kind of like to start, though, if I can, by talking just very, very quickly about the Sunrider difference. And this is something we speak about with each and every call. But again, folks, Sunrider is truly different than any other company out there. It's been around for over 32 years, so it's extremely stable. It operates in over 42 countries around the world, allowing people a global opportunity to run a global business if they choose to do so. Sunrider is a debt-free organization, which is unheard of in today's economic climate. They handle all of our administration, accounting, 24/7 order processing, and most importantly to me, coming out of a manufacturing background, is they internally handle all of the research and development and manufacturing of over 400 of the world's finest herbal-based foods, cleansing beverages, weight management, sports and fitness, household and natural cosmetic products. Now, these products are really the fuel that kind of drive our business vehicle, and everything that Sunrider manufactures is all produced under what we call our philosophy of regeneration. And very simply, the philosophy of regeneration talks about the importance of eating foods that nourish, cleanse, and balance our bodies. The fact that we need to be eating whole foods, not chemicals. The fact that variety in our foods are so important. And then, of course, the owner expertise and self-manufacturing that Sunrider brings to the table for us. You know, one of my favorite sayings is something I've repeated many times, and it's actually a saying that Dr. Dees talked to me about many, many years ago. And it basically is what's on the screen right now. If we nourish and feed our bodies with a regular combination of whole food nutrients and cleansing beverages, our bodies will not only be in balance and healthy, but they will repair, renew, and regenerate themselves naturally. And I think that's a great spot to maybe move into our topic tonight, which again is the Sunrider Mighty Minerals. Minerals, of course, are inorganic substances that occur naturally in non-living things such as water, rocks, and soil. Plants get their minerals from soil and water they absorb. Animals ingest minerals from eating plants and other animals and from drinking water. And us humans ingest minerals from the food that we eat and the fluids that we drink. Now, why are minerals important in our diets and what do they do for our bodies? Minerals in our diets are essential for a variety of bodily functions, including building strong bones and teeth, blood, skin, hair, nerve function, muscles, and for metabolic processes such as those that turn our food that we eat into energy. This means that minerals are needed for the body to work properly, for growth and development, and overall for maintaining optimal health. Sharon, I know that you've done a lot of study on minerals and have produced a postcard that we've actually sent out in the past to people, reminding them about the importance of minerals. Before we talk about some of the top essential minerals out there and then some of the Sunrider products that provide these for us, do you have anything that you'd like to add generally about the importance of minerals and how they impact the body?
I think that a lot of people don't understand minerals. They think of vitamins all the time. And as you said on your slide before, that minerals are essential for our body, and not just for building bones, because they're so important for the whole alkaline balance in our body and just maintaining normal health.
No question. Thank you very much. Roberta, you too. I mean, I know you're an RN and you deal with a lot of people all the time. Do you have anything that you'd like to just generally share about the importance of minerals in terms of nutrition in the body?
Minerals are very, very important. It plays a part, like you said, in bones, in the heart muscle, in practically every body system. And so even though we are taking vitamins, like Judy said, it is very, very important to make sure that we have the minerals there, to make sure that everything works optimum, that we have energy, and that we have vibrant health.
Absolutely. Thank you. You know, the slide that's up on the screen right now is kind of an overview of some of the top essential minerals that our body craves: calcium, iron, magnesium, zinc, chromium, selenium, and potassium. And what I'd like to do right now, if I can, as we move forward, is I've put together some slides that talk about each of these, and we'll just quickly go through them, and then we'll kind of get to the meat of our topic tonight, which are the Sunrider products that contain these things. But when I did some research on calcium, what I found is that calcium combats stress, anxiety, and muscle cramps. It helps build strong bone and teeth. As a matter of fact, 99% of the calcium in our bodies is in our bones and our teeth. Calcium supports fat burn and assists in quality of sleep. Calcium also helps the blood to clot normally and is important in controlling high blood pressure. Rich sources of calcium just out there in nature include things like dairy products, green vegetables, tofu, Brazil nuts, and also some small-boned fish like sardines. Panel members, does anybody else have anything else they'd like to add in about calcium before we move on? Going once, going twice?
Matt, the most important thing about calcium, I think, is that it's not just bones. I mean, you've got it all in here, but that's so important, and especially I think, is it helps blood clot, and it helps maintain our blood pressure and lower cholesterol. So calcium is one of the top minerals that we ingest.
Absolutely, and as we'll talk about a little bit later, there's a variety of sources of calcium, some good, some bad, and we'll talk about, well, herb cal tabs are one of our favorite Sunrider products here in a few minutes, and come back to the whole calcium subject when we're talking about that. Sharon, thank you. The next one is iron, essential for a healthy immune system. Enriches and builds blood cells and is required for the transfer of oxygen between tissues in our body. The majority of iron in our bodies is within the hemoglobin or myoglobin, two proteins that carry oxygen. The hemoglobin carries oxygen in our blood and transfers it to our cells, and the myoglobin transports oxygen in muscle tissue. Red blood cells are red because of the iron content. Good sources of iron include green leafy vegetables, seaweed, beans, eggs, oily fish like salmon, and of course red meat. The next mineral that we're going to talk about here briefly is magnesium. Provides steady energy, helps reduce stress, and supports the heart muscle. It's important for nerve cell function and muscle contraction. Magnesium is also used in the regulation of energy release for when we need it. It helps to release the energy from the foods that we eat. Good sources of magnesium include fish, shellfish, dairy products, fruits like bananas, green leafy vegetables, nuts, and wholemeal breads and flours. The next mineral is zinc. Zinc increases oxygen circulation, rejuvenates the immune system, helps in blood clotting and tissue repair. It feeds the brain and memory function, and also regulates the cholesterol level, sugar levels in our body, and blood pressure. Good sources of zinc include red meat, dairy products, whole grain products, eggs, fish, beans, nuts, and seeds. Chromium, supporting blood sugar metabolism, essential in slowing the aging process, which is good to know. Good sources of chromium include meat, whole grain products, molasses, brewer's yeast, and nuts. Selenium is the next mineral, and that's required for a healthy heart function and attack fat cells, boost the immune system, and is a powerful antioxidant. Good sources of selenium are cereals, meats, fish, dairy products, legumes, and vegetables. And last but not least, potassium, which helps maintain blood pressure and is needed for muscle contractions and nerve impulse transmissions. It enhances energy and vitality. It helps in digestion and stimulates the kidneys to eliminate toxic bodily waste. Good sources of potassium include vegetables, especially green leafy ones, fruits like bananas. We're all familiar with bananas and their potassium content. Apricots and melons. Other good sources are nuts, beans, milks, and whole grain cereals. With that, I think it's important now that we move on to the Sunrider products that support our mineral needs, and we can talk in depth about each of these products. The first one on our list is Electrosport. And Electrosport, again, is one of my favorite products because of exercising, but I'll come back and talk a little bit about Electrosport in my testimonies in a minute. Judy, we haven't heard from you much yet this morning or this evening. Would you share with us a little bit about Electrosport? Is this one of the products that you use?
Yes, I just love Electrosport because, again, I have an appreciation for the need for minerals in our body because they act as a catalyst. And the interesting thing is you can't go to a rock. And so oftentimes supplements on the market, that's essentially what you're doing. The body can't absorb it. So it's of no value to us if the body can't utilize it. And because Electrosport is liquid or colloidal, where those minerals are easily accessible to us. And so I just love it. I mean, they say it comes in a vial and it tastes a little vial, but of course no one drinks it out of the vial. So added with other things, it's quite refreshing, and the results are dynamic. I've used it for a variety of things, and over the years have seen it used for edema, the retention of water, helping alleviate that, even in serious situations. Replenishing the electrolytes, of course, but just the value of having something that's easily ingested. And I'm not a doctor, so I can't explain why exactly, but it's also been very useful in menopausal women. In the case of depression, we've used it that way. Some people have used it in regards to problems with the electrical transfer in the brain, such as in the case of seizures. So it ideally is for the athlete, but it has many other uses and helps everyday people with so many things. And so, as I mentioned, I think of it as a catalyst to make everything else work. I just think it's a fabulous product. I wouldn't be without it.
Excellent. Thank you. Sharon, any thoughts on Electrosport?
Well, I think a simple way to explain Electrosport is just to say that it's high-octane fuel for the cells. And where else can you get 9 concentrated pure liquid minerals all in one vial? I think most people mix it in a quart of Fortune Delight. I don't know, Mac, how you mix it, but it does go well with mixing in Fortune Delight. And a good thing, and I don't know that there are any other mineral products out there with electrolytes that don't have sugar. Sunrider contains no sugar, and you look at Gatorade and the other ones out there, and they're loaded with sugar. And here we have pure electrolytes in the vial.
Yeah. Sharon, right on. I mean, you're absolutely correct. There is no sugar, sweeteners, preservatives, or artificial ingredients in Electrosport. And again, that falls right back into that whole philosophy of regeneration, where the chins have put together in all of our products, including Electrosport, a whole food form of this particular product. Great stuff. I love it. High octane fuel for the cells. That's great. Roberta, your perspective on Electrosport.
Well, as a nurse, and taking care of people who are ill, if they have fever, they're also perspiring, and so they're also losing the water, and it will also deplete their minerals. So this would be great. Even though water does hydrate the body, you really need to put Electrosport in that water and be drinking that water to help replace all the minerals that you're losing through either perspiring, or if you've had a fever and you're perspiring, this will help to heal the body, and you can get much better quicker.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. You all kind of mentioned a little bit how Electrosport has been used for people that are athletes and perspire heavily and so forth. And I know a few months ago we had Richard Olener on the line with us, and Richard was sharing some of his sports experiences, which I can certainly relate to in terms of using Electrosport. And for me, it's essential. Being someone involved in the martial arts like I am, the workouts that I'm undergoing and what my instructor puts us through all the time, I perspire very, very heavily, and it having nothing to do with living in a desert environment like I do here in Arizona. It's just natural with the workouts. And I know my body is susceptible to cramps and all kinds of issues when I do not consume Electrosport. It's something I use every single day. Sharon, I think you had mentioned mixing it with Fortune Delight and stuff. Yeah, I do that as well. Very important that you do dilute the Electrosport so it's not a big hammer in terms of these minerals on your body. So I dilute it out. I put it in, I put about half of the vial in my shake in the morning, and then I put the other half in a big container of Fortune Delight that I drink before, during, and after my workout. So that's how I use it. Judy, I think you mentioned in your conversation a little bit about the taste. And coming in a vial and having a bit of a vial taste, it would kind of crack me up a little bit, because you're so right. We get used over time to most of the Sunrider products that we consume having a very good taste. They taste fabulous as we begin to consume them. Electrosport is the exception to that rule, I believe, because the stuff does taste really bad, as any heavy mineral product would. But dilute it out in Fortune Delight, put some in your shakes, however you want to consume it. Find a way to do so, because it truly is a fabulous product. Any other comments from the panel before we move on to our next product? Great, moving along then. Evergreen, again, another one of my favorite Sunrider products. Like Electrosport, it comes in, I'm going to go back one slide, it comes in 10 packs in a small vial. Great for traveling, very easy for use. Sharon, talk to us a little bit about Evergreen. Tell us what you like about this product.
Well, it's one of my favorites. I like it because it's just concentrated green. It's chlorophyll and it's minerals, and it supports the whole body. It oxygenates the blood. It's nutrient rich. And I've heard Dr. Stan mention that when we take the vial, of course, we're going to shake it up to get all those nutrients out that it's a lot of them settled in the bottom, but to make sure that we drink it in water or Fortune Delight in a liquid so that we get better delivery to the cells. And I think that's important. So many people don't get enough greens during the day. They don't have the 4 or 5 servings. And I think that this can really enhance our diet because of the rich greenness to it. And it's got so many good nutrients that it helps to not only purify ourselves, but it improves our digestion. And, we are what we digest. So for a lot of people who have digestive issues, Evergreen has been essential. I just think it's a fabulous product.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you. Roberta, from your perspective as an RN, what do you see as the important aspects of Evergreen and chlorophyll products like Evergreen?
Oh, Evergreen is absolutely fabulous, and I drink it every day, and I usually put it in with my Fortune Delight. And so it's wonderful for the circulatory system, and I know that a lot of people have digestive issues, and so this would be absolutely wonderful to consume. And so I have no problems with my digestive system as long as I drink Evergreen, and it's great. And to know that there is no sugar in it, there's no artificial colors or preservatives, that is fabulous.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny, you mentioned the digestive system, and Judy, who I want to talk to here in just a second about Evergreen, because I know you have some great stories with it. Judy, I think it was you that originally shared with me after one of our meetings, putting some Evergreen in some sparkling water, and what that does in terms of a nice after meal kind of beverage. And we do that quite often around our house. Judy, if you can, tell us a little bit about some of your experiences with Evergreen and why it's important for you.
Well, it is just kind of life in a bottle to me, because I've seen so many fabulous things, because it has such an effect on our blood, not only oxygenating it, making it more alkaline, but the fact that it actually can improve the blood platelet count. Mm-hmm. And over 20 years ago, when I was faced with a serious situation, which caused me, the health challenge caused a lot of blood loss, and I continually was able to not only stay alive, but then move my blood count up, my red blood cell count up, with the use of Evergreen. And I think it's really important to understand why our Evergreen is different from that on the market, and that's because it occurs as it does in the plant. It's fat soluble, and so it's much more potent when we take it into our body. And it's a continual thing that I have seen through the years of helping others prepare for surgery or to rejuvenate. And on a daily basis, absolutely, you're getting all your greens. And then in serious situations, it actually is life-preserving. Just recently, Sue Backus submitted a wonderful experience about a 70-year-old, and Julie Herring shared it with us. And this woman, very serious health situation, and her platelet count they couldn't get it above 30,000. And then after taking some Sunrider products, and particularly the Evergreen, they were able to they raised it to 90,000, and it had never been that high in years. And this is someone seeking, you know, top medical care, not just someone. And that's why we have the documentation. And as she ate continued with the foods and the Evergreen, she was able to raise it to 120,000, which was remarkable in her case. Unfortunately, she felt so good she thought she didn't have to continue with the products. And that's a mistake some people don't realize. It's daily consumption, just as you don't fill your gas tank one time and then don't put any more in and think that'll take you through the years. But unfortunately, her platelet count then dropped when she didn't continue, down to 8,000, and dropped very, you know, quite quickly. So then she saw the error of her ways, and within 2 days, she was able to raise it from 8,000 back to 31,000 with the foods in Evergreen. Yeah. So very good lesson there, and documented. And her medical health was very impressed and amazed. Quite frankly, they ran the blood test again, because when it went up to 36,000, they thought it was a mistake, and then in her continuation back up to 56,000, and this is someone in her 70s. So it works, and it works much better. Occasionally we have some that think, okay, well, I understand, it's great, it's chlorophyll, and they might buy something else. And I like it, actually, when they do that, because I know I'll have them back as soon as they're done, because Evergreen is so much more potent, and you get so much better results when you use it. I wouldn't be without it. I sometimes think we should include it when we talk about the Sunrider basics. I almost think that Evergreen should be included in that.
Well, you've got my vote on that one too, because I use it every day also.
Nutritionist Ingazar, in all her years in Sunrider, has said that her most favorite product that she uses with her clients is Evergreen, because it does so many wonderful things for the body.
Not surprising. Well, just quick review here again, Evergreen is extremely rich in iron, zinc, and calcium. As all Sunrider products, again, back to this whole food formula that Chin produces. Evergreen's main ingredient is chlorophyll, which we've talked about, which comes from the alfalfa plant. Just a couple other things, very rich in enzymes, enhances immunity and helps the body ward off infection, soothes nausea and morning sickness. I can't remember which of you alluded to this earlier, but Evergreen is formulated to become oil soluble when the stomach acids act upon it, thus providing chlorophyll in an oil-soluble state, its natural form, which is most absorbable by the body. And that's exactly what Dr. Chin does in his expertise in his formulations. He makes sure things like Evergreen, all the things that he produces, are most easily assimilated by our bodies. And again, you know, Judy, you kind of said it a second ago yourself. Some people will try Evergreen, they'll go and buy a competitive product, but then they always come back because those competitive products never work or are never as effective as the Sunrider version. And this is just another perfect example of that. Great. Ladies, fabulous. Appreciate the input on that. Moving right along, Herb Cal tabs. We were talking about calcium earlier and the importance of calcium in our diet. Roberta, are Herb Cal tabs something that you use, and if so, why do you think they're so important?
Absolutely. I eat Cal tabs at Herb Cal every day because I think being postmenopausal, it's very important for us women to get our calcium, because so many people do have osteoporosis, and you know, women are very particular in that area when we do become postmenopausal, and so we want to make sure that we don't have any fractures or lose our teeth. That would not be a good thing. So anyway, I really feel that it's excellent, and it's chewable, readily absorbable, and so I think it's an excellent product, and I won't be without it.
Fabulous. I know it's right here on the shelf in my office as well, that and the Citrix C, which I take a couple times every day. Good stuff. Judy, how about you? Herb Cal, something that you like?
Well, again, I just want to get the most for my health dollar. And you can buy, there's all sorts of calciums on the market and all, but the bottom line is what can your body utilize it and break it down? And calcium is one of those things that, again, it does matter, the formulations, what its source is, and you have to be sure in calcium coming from the ground, of course, and different things. You don't want it, depending on the source, it could be contaminated. And so we're fortunate because ours is pure, the source is right, it's in a form that can be broken down by the body, so we're getting all that we're purchasing, and that's really important to me.
Perfect, perfect. Sharon, how about you? I know this is a product that you use.
Of course. I think one of the most important aspects of our Herb Cal is that we can digest it easily. And most calcium comes in tabs and is not digested. The acid in the stomach can't digest it. And I've seen reports where 75% of calcium tabs are not absorbed by the body. And Dr. Chen has made it important for us to understand that we have to digest it. And if you look at the ingredients in Herb Cal, a lot of them are for digestion. There's a base of papain, dandelion green powder, alfalfa powder, bromelian, and flaxseed oil. So I think that it's important to have our tabs throughout the day. And I'll chew one with citric C. So I could put them both together because the Herb Cal does, it is kind of an herby taste, and I love it with the citric C, and I think it's a great combination.
Me too. That's exactly how I consume it. Good stuff. Yep. Hey, for those of you that don't know, calcium, the body does not make its own calcium. It's necessary for us to get our calcium supply from our diets or other supplements. And the body will actually leach calcium from the bones and teeth if it is not adequately found in our diets. Some of the things that calcium is a benefit to, which we touched on in earlier slides, but strong bones, strong teeth, muscle contractions, blood clotting, nerve function, etc. These are all important aspects of why calcium is important to us. With our Sunrider Herb Cal tab, each tab contains 250 milligrams of calcium, or 25% of the recommended daily value, and is actually comprised of 3 different calcium components to help the body get its proper fill. Calcium carbonate. The calcium carbonate Sunrider uses is mined from fossiled coral for purity. One of you mentioned earlier about contamination from competitive brands, and that is true. Many other brands contain calcium from oyster shells, which may contain heavy metals and other impurities. Calcium carbonate also contains the highest level of elemental calcium, otherwise known as pure calcium. The second type of calcium that we have in our Herb Cal tab is calcium citrate, which is produced from a calcium salt. The calcium citrate provides the next highest level of elemental calcium and is easily absorbed and digested by the body. Calcium citrate also allows this product to be consumed with or without food, which is another issue on some other competitive herb-based products. They have to be consumed with food. You do not have to eat the Sunrider Herb Cal tab with a meal. It can be eaten on its own or with citric C, just like Sharon and I do. The last form of calcium provided in the Herb Cal tab is calcium gluconate. Calcium gluconate is a salt of calcium, and it, again, it is used most in medicines for treating problems arising out of calcium deficiencies. So again, 3 sources of calcium. The awesome thing to note about Herb Cal, 3 other things, it contains vitamin D2 to enhance absorption, which not all supplements do. It can be taken with or without food, which we just mentioned. And I think it was Verda that mentioned it was chewable, or Sharon did, or somebody. So again, those are some of the highlights of our Herb Cal tab. Something that, again, sits on my shelf every day along with citric C that I eat, my wife eats, my daughters eat every time we walk past. So great stuff. Thank you all for sharing on those. Last but not least on our Sunrider Mighty Minerals is the spirulina caps. And Sharon, talk to us a little bit about spirulina. Can you tell us what you know about this product, and is it something that you use?
Yes, of course I use it, and our whole family does. I think the best word to describe spirulina is that it's a superfood because it contains the wholesome blue-green algae, which is rich in chlorophyll and protein and vitamins and 7 minerals. And most blue-green algae is grown in pools that are often contaminated or from the ocean. And Dr. Sin has made a point to say that his blue-green algae is grown in special ponds that are pure. And that's so important, and you've alluded to that before, Matt, about the importance of purity. And with our blue-green algae, that's one thing that we want to have is clean. I don't know of another superfood that does so much as our spirulina, because it contains 21 amino acids and the entire B complex. That's huge. So it has a higher in protein than any other food, which means it's higher in protein than any milk product and liver and beef and anything. It's high in protein and it's from a food. I think it's one of Sunrider's top formulas.
You know, Sharon, I'm glad you mentioned that at the end there, because one of the things that I was going to share too is supporting that fact. I read somewhere that our spirulina is 300% more protein than fish, meat, poultry, and it doesn't have any of the cholesterol that goes along with those things. So you're right, in terms of high concentration and in what it delivers in terms of nutritional value, this truly is an incredible product. Roberta, anything that you would like to share about our spirulina tabs?
Absolutely. I have several people who are needing to be on iron, and they cannot take iron tabs over the counter. It upsets their digestive system, or they have problems absorbing. And so I have them eating spirulina because there's a lot of iron in it, and that iron is readily absorbed by the digestive system. So which also helps in the production of red blood cells, And then, of course, that contains the oxygenation for our whole body. So I eat spirulina every day, and I encourage all my clients to also eat it every day. But it's fabulous.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Judy, how about you? Is this a product that you have on your shelf as well?
Oh, absolutely, and more inside than on the shelf. I think it's just fabulous for all the reasons mentioned, and just stressing the aspect of the high protein that you can get, the high quality, I should say, because many times people are told they need to increase their protein, and there's many vegetarians, there are many people that just want to eat a high quality of meat when they do and can't afford to eat that maybe as frequently, but as has been pointed out, spirulina actually contains more protein than fish, poultry, or beef. And so many will add it along with their shake if they need a boost in protein. It's kind of unique in that not only does it nourish, but it also cleanses. It has a cleansing effect on both the liver and kidneys as well. And because of its high mineral content and value, it's very good for the glandular system, and particularly I have seen in different people help along with the thyroid area. And in fact, we had a woman in her 80s who had been on thyroid medication for many years and actually was able to get off and actually felt better using the spirulina.
Wow.
So don't forget to add it, and different amounts for everyone depending on your situation, but I find that it's a helpful thing for not craving or excess eating also, so because it gives you the energy and the stamina. And it is one of those products you can definitely tell when you take it, and I'm big on that. I like payback, and so it is fabulous. Now, some people actually open the capsules and put it in their shake. Not me. I'm not about. It's just not tasty to me because I'm not into much of the. Even though it's fabulous for you, but you know the seaweeds and things like that have just a little bit of that seaweedy taste to me. But in capsule form, perfect, and so easy to add, and so much control. So I hope everyone is using it, and if they haven't, they better try it because they're missing out.
Great. That's great. You know, just quickly, a couple of the things that each of you had commented about, I just want to come back and revisit for a second. Sharon, I think it was you that talked about the quality in terms of how the chins cultivate their spirulina in hygienic tanks and ponds that are you know, monitored under the latest scientific conditions. And again, that speaks volumes, I think, to the quality and what the chins do in terms of producing the highest quality products for us in terms of nutritional value and how they're produced from a quality standpoint. Some of the summary of benefits here, again, rich in natural B complex as well as beta carotene and vitamin A, the world's richest source of B12 needed for healthy blood cells, obviously rich in iron, phosphorus, calcium, zinc, potassium, and magnesium, also trace elements such as selenium and chromium. We talked a little bit already about the protein content within our spirulina. The fact that 62% amino acid vegetable protein, the highest known source, more protein than in tofu, and perfectly balanced essential amino acids in almost the same proportion as in the human body. Again, this is a product that Chin worked very hard on to make sure he's bringing us the very best. Talked a little bit about suggested amounts. I know that the bottle says 2 to 4 capsules daily. It does come in bottles with 100 soft gel caps. And Judy, I think you mentioned it can either be swallowed or you can open up caps and dump them in a smoothie, whatever works best for you. So again, some great information there, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing on all of these products the way that you have. MetaBalance 44, to round things out, our last product for the discussion here this evening. Sharon, tell us a little bit about MetaBalance 44 and why it's important for you.
It's important because it's a combination of vitamins and minerals that are in a natural base. Anything hasn't been added to the formula that isn't natural. And I think with so many multivitamins out there, and you read the ingredients, you don't see the ingredients that are listed on Dr. Chen's MetaBalance 44. So the important thing is that I think it's just a vitamin and mineral supplement that provides a full range of required nutrients for the day of essential minerals, and it's, again, easily digested because it's in a soft gel capsule. And
absolutely.
Children can take it. It's appropriate for all ages.
Excellent.
You can look at it as insurance for the body because you're getting all the vitamins and minerals in there.
Well, and you know, so many people, I mean, you just look at the shelf in your typical drugstore out there, and there's 4 or 5 shelves of these isolate multivitamin products out there. People of different ages, size, shapes, whatever. I mean, they're trying to market these isolated vitamins to so many different people. And the real difference with MetaBalance 44 is again, this is a product that Chen has developed to really deliver the nutrients and the vitamins to our body and make them most assimilate, or make them most easily assimilated by the body. So thank you, Sharon. Great stuff there.
But Matt, just looking at the ingredients, when you see alfalfa, bee pollen, nature's perfect food is bee pollen, flaxseed meal, lecithin, parsley powder, lemon bioflavonoids. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Exactly. Good stuff. Roberta, for you, is MetaBalance 44 something that you would recommend to people? Do you consume it yourself?
Yes, I do. But, you know, a lot of times the foods that we do eat, we're not getting the vitamins and minerals that we really need. So with MetaBalance, as it says, balance, it helps to balance out my body, and I know that I'm getting the vitamins and minerals that my body needs to maintain balance and to keep me well.
Fabulous. Judy, how about you? Is this a product that you like to use?
Absolutely, and one of the benefits of sharing Sunrider is the input you get back. And I remember early on when I have someone purchasing MetaBalance, and of course, as many people do, that you look at the milligrams and you think, my goodness, the milligrams aren't what I'm used to. I'm used to buying higher milligrams of some of the ingredients. And so you, of course, take the time, as we've already mentioned, explaining how it's developed, and it's as those elements would occur in food. And that's what makes it easily assimilated and digestible and utilized. And I've had several over the years say they will always buy MetaBalance because they can tell the difference when they take it. They had never felt a difference when they took a multivitamin, but they thought they should do it. So when they saw the results, again, of having something that the body truly could utilize, they didn't want to be without it. So I think that's the beauty of MetaBalance 44, is that it's your insurance program. If you're not quite, the other foods you're choosing maybe not be as potent as they should be. So it's a wonderful way to round out all your needs. It's excellent.
You know, Judy, thank you. And you know, I'd like to come back to a few things that you've said over all of these products that I think is important to repeat to folks. And that is, I know that you mentioned even from the very first product we talked about here that you're an individual that looks at the value you're receiving for your health dollar that you're spending on any nutrition-based product. And in each of the examples we've talked about tonight, what has stood out for me in terms of your comments is the fact that each of these products truly bring results. And I think that's the term you just used for MetaBalance 44, is you have seen yourself and people have reported back to you the results that they see from consuming these products. So I want to thank you for sharing that, because I think we're all kind of the same way. We have, you know, a limited amount of money that we can spend on these supplements and nutritional-based products. Certainly as Sunriders, these become part of our normal life and our daily diets, but we do expect a result. And that's really what Chen delivers to us by producing these products under his philosophy of regeneration. They deliver as advertised. And again, thank you so much for sharing that. The other thing I just wanted to quickly to mention to everybody, just as a FYI, something for everyone to know about MetaBalance 44, is I had a chance to speak with Dr. Chin a week or so ago, and we were talking about a number of topics. And I asked him, what is Sunrider's best-selling product? And I'm sure we all have our own ideas on what that might be, but his answer was MetaBalance 44. So just a little trivia fact out there for everybody to know about. Ladies, again, thank you for sharing the way you have on these products. You know, it's important that for whatever reasons we're in Sunrider, and we've all kind of come in for our own different reasons. Some is health, some is better energy, some is an income opportunity, whatever it happens to be. Maybe it's just the fact that we want to generate a little bit extra money to donate to charity or to purchase our own products. Whatever that need or interest is, I think part of the important aspect of these WebEx trainings and the conference calls that we've been doing over the past few years is to help people increase their sales with the products that we talk about. And, you know, it sounds kind of almost like a cliche because we've said it so many times, but it's important that as we talk about these products and as we share them with others, that we actually become a product of the product ourselves. And by that, it simply means consuming these products ourselves. And that's where it kind of begins for me. Again, there's over 400 or so products that we can purchase here in the United States from Sunrider. I don't use all of them. I think if we walked around our house, and Judy, you and I had a chance to do this with a year or so ago when we did why we love our Sunrider stuff so much. And again, we had a chance to go through Lisa's house and go room by room and look at the various Sunrider products that we all use. But it really comes back to being a product of the product. And you know, there's a lot of ways that we could share this with people. Part of what we do every month is we send out emails to our entire personal group and our leadership folks where we share the flyers that support these products. As a matter of fact, the Fusion Network e-letter that is going out this month includes the company flyers for Electrosport, for Evergreen, for Herb Caltats, for MetaBalance 44, and we've also provided some information very specific to spirulina. And again, we do that so everyone listening into these calls and that are members of the Fusion Network have the tools that they need to go out and share this stuff with others. So by email, mailing campaigns, we like every quarter or so of the year to actually do a physical mailing where we'll send out product cards and stuff with people. And really, folks, it just comes down to sharing, talking to people about what you love about these products, why they're important to you, the results that you've seen or have obtained yourself, and helping people realize how easy it is to take the same dollars or a portion of the same dollars that they're spending at the supermarket or the drugstore and switching brands to Sunrider. The flyers, the information sheets we've talked about, they're all available as either attachments to our Fusion Network newsletters or they're available through the Fusion Network website. These WebEx training events are active links where, again, if you don't have a chance there or you're doing a meeting yourself and you want to talk about or have a focus on, like the Mighty Minerals, for instance, you can hit the link to this WebEx presentation through the Fusion Network website and let Judy, Roberta, and Sharon share with you in their own words why these products are so important. The results that we're trying to obtain, again, is we want to generate retail profit and bonus income. And the way we do that, for whatever reason, again, be it charity, our own income, buying our own products, whatever it happens to be, the way we do that is by sharing with others. So enough said on that stuff. We talked a little bit last month about the annual purchase requirements for VIPs, IBOs, and members in our organization. And again, I don't want to overdo this again, but we have an anniversary date coming up here on March 1st where people, as IBOs, VIPs, and members, need to have met the minimum purchase requirements for the years. And just quickly, again, members must accumulate $125 in product purchases at the retail price every 12 months. Members are our customers. VIPs must accumulate $500 in product purchases at the retail price every 12 months, and IBOs must accumulate $200 in product purchases at the IBO discounted price every 12 months. Now, the benefits of maintaining or remaining an active member VIP or IBO in Sunrider is members can remain active and purchase at the basic Sunrider retail price going forward. VIPs, once they reach that $500 threshold, They're then eligible for discount on future orders. 5% when they order between $100 and $199, and 10% when they order $200 or more at a single time. IBOs, more important even. For them to remain active, again, purchase $200 a year. That's easy to do at the discounted price, and the benefits of that is you receive our very best 20% discount, and more importantly, you're eligible to earn retail profit and bonus income as you create your own personal consumer and leadership group by sharing Sunrider with others. What's going to happen? How do I find this data, etc.? Again, it's all on the Sunrider website. It's under the Business Center, Manage Account, and specifically the Activity Management screen. You can pull up and see where all of your IBOs, VIPs, and members in your personal group, where they sit in terms of meeting this requirement or not. Something that we've done, and the little title on this next screen here is Mind Your Own Business. And I know we here in the United States kind of take that as a negative, mind your own business. But I thought it was funny. Judy's sponsor, leader in our organization, Julie Herring, a fabulous leader out of Florida, has sent out a newsletter this month, and the title of her newsletter was Mind Your Own Business. And what she was really reminding us of is that it is critical that we actually pay attention and mind our own business. And what she was really saying and talking about with this and the annual purchase requirements were, remind everybody in your groups about the requirements. Let them know what they need to do to keep up their discounts, etc. Things that Julie and I have talked about and we're both doing is we're sending a thank you to those that have met the requirement. Matter of fact, my sister and I are sending out the brand new catalog that Sunrider just released to everyone in our personal group that actually met the requirement with a huge thank you and the fact that we appreciate them and what they've done. We want to let the others know how much they are missed. Those the folks that didn't quite meet the requirement or they haven't ordered. We're also doing a campaign where we're sending out letters and postcards, and we're going to let them know how much they are missed and how much we want them back in our organization. And then we want to make sure that we can collect the contact data of those people that don't meet the requirement so we can continue to follow up with them. And kind of last but not least here on this subject, what's going to happen for those that haven't met the requirement on March 1st is they will become inactive. And that does not mean that they're going to vanish from our computer screens, okay? That data will still be available to us so we can continue to follow up with these folks to bring them back. Again, it's all on the Sunrider website, under the Business Center, under Manage Account, and again, this Activity Management screen. There's a pop-up window that you'll find that is called Months Unactive. And under that, you'll see a section for terminated. If you hit that, that will then populate a list of people that you can see that have been terminated or that are no longer active, is another way to put it in your organization. The data in terms of contacting them can all be received just by clicking on their name, and it'll bring up their contact information. So I don't want anybody to be concerned as leaders that they're going to lose track of this data, because again, it's important that we all continue to follow up with those in our groups that are not active. And that's a big process that we're going to be undertaking here over the next few months, is reaching out to all of those people, again, letting them know how much they're missed and how much we want them back into Sunrider. Moving on with some product updates. I just wanted to share with everybody that hasn't seen it, there is a brand new point across segment that was released by Julie McClooey, the Candescent manager for Sunrider. Many of you have heard Julie speak on our conference calls in the past, or have tuned into her with some of the Sunrider conference calls. She is a wealth of information on Candescent skincare and color cosmetics. Her latest point across segment deals with our skincare, the world's best ingredients, and optimal nutrient delivery through skincare. That link for this particular point across is right there on the screen. It's also a link that we're providing in our Fusion Network e-letter this month for folks. One other product update, and that is that the moisturizing lip color number 1116 or product number 76044 has been discontinued, so we apologize about that, but that's going to happen periodically in any case. Last but not least, on the product side, we are still hoping that we will receive the release of our new Fitness Brigade program here in the United States yet this month or early in March. That Fitness Brigade, in terms of folks looking for weight loss, increased energy, and exercise program, ties hand in hand with our SunFit Pack, which includes a great combination of products, our basics, the Fortune Delight, VitaShake, Sunbar, Sunny Dew, and a brochure, but it also includes our Sun Trim Plus, which is our premier weight management product that was released several months ago here in the U.S., and we've been just seeing tremendous feedback and results from. So folks, don't forget about the SunFit Pack. It's a great way to introduce people that have a need for extra energy, exercise, and or weight management to get exposure to some of our fabulous premier products. Last but not least, a convention update. Convention for Sunrider is coming up here in July. The dates of the convention are what? They are coming up on July 10th, 11th, and 12th. The schedule was just released in terms of the Sunrider operations update, but probably the most important date for people to keep an eye on is March 1st, which is coming up because that's the date that registration begins. As there always is, there's a bit of a discount for early bird registration. So I suggest to everybody that you register sooner than later, as soon as March 1st hits, I should say, and you can save $30, I believe, in terms of early bird registration. The company has a great convention agenda for us this year, including a one-day certification course for any leaders that would like to be certified in our SunFit program and gain full-day knowledge with Dr. Ruben Chin on the benefits of our SunFit program and Fitness Brigade approach. I've signed up for it, put my name in the hat already, very limited space. For anybody interested in becoming certified in our Fitness Brigade and SunFit program, Thursday, July 10th is the date of that training. It is a full-day session, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ruben has already told me directly when I spoke with him last week that he's very excited about training in this course, but he said people will probably not be happy with him at the end of the day because he is really going to be putting us through our paces. So I just share that with everybody. There's some great breakout workshops on Friday the 11th, SunFit Health and Fitness workout. There's a Candescent Sales Training Workshop, Health and Anti-Aging Workshop, SunFit Health and Fitness Workshop, and Increasing Sales and Business Training Workshops. Don't know who's going to be leading all of those yet, but again, it'll be a combination of Sunrider's staff as well as key leaders as it is in most years. So again, a great event coming up here in July. With that, we're kind of pushing our time as we always do. I just want to remind everybody, tons of information available for you on the Fusion Network website. If anybody has questions about these presentations or anything we can help you with, please don't hesitate to send us an email at omi1world@aol.com and we'll get back to you. Want to thank our panel of speakers, Sharon Samuelson, Judy Densler, and Roberta McMaster for joining us this month. You guys were fabulous. Thank you, as always, for sharing the way that you have. And just to kind of wrap up everything again with our disclaimer, as much as we enjoy sharing, none of this information provided is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure for any illness or disease. With that, folks, we thank you so much for joining us, and we will look forward to seeing you again next month. So goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye now. Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, thank you.